My name is Nasim Lomani. I'm refugee from Afghanistan. I am member of the Network for Social Support to Immigrants and Refugees, a network that is active supporting migrants and refugees the last 20 years, more or less, trying to support from one side the migrants and refugees, giving them whatever we can do as network, as organization, and trying to be active also against the anti-immigration policy of Greece, if it's possible, in collaboration with our European movements that we are participating also in European level. We are active against the social racism, institutional racism, or going down as the fascist group. For political asylum, for legalization of migrants, social political rights of migrants and refugees, participating in a lot of initiatives, more bigger groups from different organizations. And of course we have also activities in our social center here, Migrant Social Center, like this bar social place. We have language courses, free language courses for migrants and refugees for free, collective kitchens, doing things, organizing with migrants and refugees together, and participating in bigger movements of different organizations in level of Greek in all Greece, maybe, and somehow its network, it has also some small groups in some more cities of Greece, and also with some anti-racist organizations in different places of Greece. We are organizing a big anti-racist festival every year for the last 19 years, and trying to do whatever it's possible to do for this issue. The last years it has been the main entrance of the migrants and refugees trying to arrive in Europe, and with all this fortress Europe, with this policy of border regimes, there is a big problem of the situation in the borders. A lot of people dies in the sea. Numbers, it's freak out numbers of people that they die in borders, of course with the big responsibility of Frontex and the ethnic coast guards or border controls. Another big problem is with the treatment of migrants as a problem, with this all operations of brushing operations that you call Xenos Dias or whatever, and these big detention centers that they create. Almost around 7,000 migrants there on these detention centers, and I don't know exactly, no one knows exactly how many others. They are in every police stations in very bad conditions that they have been used the last years also for detaining migrants without papers. There is problem of the asylum process. There is a big problem of having access to asylum offices, asylum system. The percentage of asylum, it has changed a little, but not this much that we demand. There is no, the last years with the crisis especially, there is no any process of legalization. It's happening actually the opposite. A lot of migrants that they have been legalized through the time staying in Greece, they lose their documents because it's connected with if you have jobs and if you have to pay for the social insurance or not. So, and the last big problem is with the internal border of Europe, which is, as I told you, most of the migrants that they pass from Greece, they are transit migrants. They want to go to the rest of Europe, which has also more possibilities or social support or some rights, some more rights. And so it's a double problem. From one side, it's this problem that they cannot go, they're trapped in Greece, and how they cannot pass to the rest of Europe. From other side, because the Europe is not taking also their responsibility about this common issue, because it's finally a European issue, the migration, it's not Greece only. So they let, in how way they close their eyes to see all these anti-immigration policies of Greek, which based, and it's coming from an right-wing ideology, right-wing policies, with mistreatments, with treating them with unhuman way, a policy of punishment, because detention centers, all this catching them in the streets without papers, putting them in detention centers, mistreating them, beating them sometimes. All of them, they have a background of anti-immigration and a punishment policy of migrants and refugees. They believe that if they do like this, they give a message to the rest of migrants, to not refugees, to not come to Greece because they are in the wrong country. We hope that something will be changed. Not only, of course, it's very important. We demand a lot of things from new government, if it's possible to be a left government of Syriza. We demand some very basic changes at the beginning, at least, to immigration policies. One of our biggest demand is to closing all the detention centers and replacing them with open camps, hosting hospitality of refugees, and especially the war refugees, people that they are escaping from horrible wars like Syria, Afghanistan, or whatever. We demand also from Syriza to open the migration issue in European level as a Greek government to share the responsibility with the rest of Europe. They have to take their responsibility. They have to have an open door for refugees that they are coming from war countries. European Union, it's the only union or the only place that there is no even a small hole for refugees to pass by. There is no open places for refugees. And of course we demand, and we are expecting of the controlling of this racism violence, not only from the side of the Golden Dawn, also from the authorities. We have a big problem of institutional racism from the government, from the politicians, and we are demanding to change changing in these things. Of course, to make it a little better, the asylum system, to start again giving legalization, giving papers, and the possibility of traveling, to freedom of movement that we call it. But institutionally we demand some way to find a way to let people legally arrive in the rest of Europe, to not put their life in danger to die in the borders, because as much people they die in the border, external border of Europe, this much people they have been died also inside Europe, in Patra when they try to arrive in Italy, in Calais when they are trying to arrive to England, in the rest of internal European borders. But the problem is not, maybe the issue is not only just to expect all these things from a left government, from a government of Syriza. It's an issue, open issue of the movements, that they have to demand, and they have to fight for this for the last moment to happen all these things. So we need a lot of works even from Monday if we have a government of Syriza. They promised some of this, that they will bring some changing, but there is two problems. One thing is that the possibility of this left government, if they can change these things, and the other thing is that they need a lot of works to do it, because against all this situation, maybe against changing of the situation, it's not only the left, the right parties, the right-wing parties, it's also the majority of the society. They don't want all these changings happens. They are against migrants, and we need to fight, and sometimes need to give ideas to Syriza to do this, and sometimes to support if they want to do some of this changing, and of course, if they don't want to do it, to demand with demonstration, being in the streets every day to demand these things happens. Yes, I have been visited some of these detention centers from Pagani and Mytilene till Magdaleza, Corinthos, or some small detention centers. I have been also visited in detention centers inside police stations. The situation inside these places, it's unbelievable to what is going on there. There are people, not only the time of the detentions, how long everyone can be inside, it will be almost more than 18 months that the people they are inside, refugees that they are without any crime, without any process of the trial or whatever, they are inside this unhuman and unfair, at least also, places. People, they don't have to eat enough food. The quality of the food, it's amazing. It's some of these foods, they are uneatable. They don't have access to the health system. They don't have access to have legal advices. They don't have access to communicate with their families, to their relatives, or to outside world. A lot of tortures happens inside these places. A lot of police violence. They have been tortured inside. They have been beaten. And every time if someone react with, I don't know, with hunger strike or with revolts or with trying to escape or whatever, there have been a lot of police violence. They have been arrested. A lot of people, they passed from a trial. Some of cases, they have good ending. They released the people. Other cases, people, they went to real jails because they react of the situation. And of course, you can find among these places migrants that they have been 15 years living, working, staying, even with papers in Greece. You can find asylum seekers. We can find minors. People that they applied for political asylum and they have to wait inside these detention centers. So it's one of the worst example of all this anti-immigration policy of not only Greece, European and immigration policy, because all these detention centers, they have been founded with European money. They give for these detention centers, and they ignore also the situation inside these places. It has been almost many European High Court, European Human Rights Courts judged the Greek for mistreatment of the migrants and refugees in these places, but they are finally, it seems that these decisions, they are just symbolic moves of some without any result, because finally there is no changing coming after all these things. It's just 2 days in the news and then nothing really happens. So there is no way to change the situation inside being better. The only solution is to close all these detention centers, and we will demand it from tomorrow to happen.